Hey, what's up, family? Peace, peace. This is Chief Kalinaga with another video. Hey, I can't help myself. I guess I'm on a roll. All right, so I figure it's about 9:35 p.m. Central Time. Well, no, 9 p.m. Eastern Time because I'm in New York. And this just came to mind, So we're gonna have a great discussion about, as you can see, what the topic is. And I think we should go in, but give me a chance. Let me just make sure that I have audio and I could tune into the live chat. Please, while I get all that together, give me a second. I appreciate the patience. Let's give some more people some time to get in, log in. Alrighty. And yeah, I think we pretty much almost ready to go. Give me a second, family. Let me just get this volume thing going here. Okay, I think I'm good. And all right, yeah, perfect. All right, let me get on the live chat just in case we need to do a little conversing. All right, hey, what's up? What's up? High vibes. All righty. What's up, family? What's up? Hope everybody's doing good, family. You know we don't say hello because hell, low, two low vibrational words. You send people to hell and you're keeping them low. So we say high vibes. All right. High vibes. We say high vibrations. We're just going to keep it high. All right. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling awesome. And once again, I'm always coming to you with great energy. I just came from training my client. She had a great workout. All right. And she's doing great. I think within, I don't want to exaggerate, but within 30 days, she lost about maybe 5 inches on her waist and about 20 pounds. Well, now about 17 pounds. So I'm really proud of her. And of course, she has a great personal trainer. All right, so let me just give myself a tap on the shoulder. But family, you know what? Like I said, man, I'm feeling good. Hey, what's up, Miss Candace? Melanated Love. What's that? Zombies. Lair. Okay, what's up, family? All right, don't be afraid of the zombies now. I know you're awesome. And we're going to have a great discussion. Okay, family, we're going to have a great discussion. As you can see, the topic, we're going to talk about, first of all, we're going to talk about the proposals. All right. And then we're going to talk about the marriage contract. And then we're going to talk about the children. Then we're going to talk about divorces. All right. Because they all go hand in hand. And family, like I said, all my videos that I do is for the upliftment of our people so that we could see things from a different perspective. And I know we have a few, sisters in the house. And what I'm going to say right now, I don't want your sisters to take it any wrong way, but I want you to really think about it. Okay. So let us try not to emote too much, but let's just flow with the conversation. And if you have any questions, anything to add to it, we are going to talk about it tonight. All right. We are having a conversation tonight. Okay. So first of all, let us talk about the proposals. Now, and sisters, if you agree with me, great. If you don't, then it's fine. It's okay to disagree, but let us respect each other. All right. That's what it's all about. Okay. Because if everybody was the same, it would be such a boring world, wouldn't it? All right. So we're going to talk about proposals. A lot of times when, women, well, first off, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that every woman wants to get married. I think that's a goal for most women. Okay. I can't speak for women. I am not one. I can't imagine that. So I guess the sisters would have to tell me if that's true. So let me ask the question for all my sisters that actually that are in the chat right now. Is it a goal for every woman to want to get married? And that's a sincere question because some women don't want to get married. I'm certainly sure they have their reasons, but is that a childhood goal for women to want to get married? And you could answer in the chat. But a lot of times when sisters get proposals, if the man don't go down on his knees, then to them, that's not a proposal. Now, I also want some brothers on there as well, because you see, it's pretty much a dialogue where both men and women needs to get involved. So, sisters, think about this, right? For me, for one, I was talking to one of the chiefs the other day, and she was saying that she wouldn't want, if a man proposes to her, she wouldn't want the man to go on his knees and propose. And I had to think about it. I had to think about it. Well, even before I continue that thought, the sister said it's a fantasy because we are taught that we should marry. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you are in a position and you're ready, to get married, I don't see why not. I think it's a beautiful thing. I didn't really want to get married until I hit 30. But, I personally, I think marriage is something that most women desire. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. To me, it brings a sense of security. And that's what we are going to talk about tonight. But first, let us talk about, before you actually put that ring on, let us talk about the proposal before you actually sign that contract, because marriage is a contract. Okay? And we're going to look at it from two different perspectives. But my sisters, think about it. When the chief told me that if a man proposed to her, she wouldn't want the man to go on his knees and propose because it's a sign of weakness. I really had to think about it. Oh, well, congratulations, sis. I had to think about it. And for me, it made a lot of sense, because as a man, to go down on your knees, to me, is a sign of weakness. I think, and again, that is just my opinion, I think it's more honorable to stand up, okay, and look your woman in her eye, face to face, and ask her to marry you. To me, there's more honor in that. To see a man down on his knees, regardless of what the circumstances are, that's a sign of weakness. And I believe that's something that the Europeans introduced. I know we always blame everything on the colonizers. I know we always blame everything on the pilgrims. You know what? Let them take the blame, because they basically came and messed everything up for us. So I'm going to blame it on them. But my sisters, I'm asking the question, do you think that, and I know you like the fantasy because that's what they show you in the movies. You're welcome, sis. Do you think that a man going down on his knees and proposing is a sign of weakness? Or would you rather your man to stand up and be a man and look you in your eye and propose to you? And that is the question I'm asking you right now. And Miss Candace, you said nice. I am certainly sure, my sister, that the intentions are pure and it's coming from a genuine place. But I want you to look at the etymology of the word nice. Nice is not such a nice word. As a matter of fact, the etymology of the word nice means stupid. It means dumb. Seriously. So nice is not a nice word. Okay? Again, it goes back to the English language. A folk tongue casting spells, and it was made to really keep us dumb. All right? So I didn't take any offense to it, sister. I'm just letting you know the etymology of the word nice. It means stupid. It means dumb. Okay? Just so you know, for future reference. So you don't tell people nice or stuff like that, because that's what it really means. But I'm asking a genuine question here. All right? So my sisters, what do you think about that? Me personally, if I do propose, I am not going to go on my knees. The sister said, yes, that's exactly how he proposed. He grabbed my hand, pulled me to him, and asked me to take his hand. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's what men do. To me, that's the most honorable thing to do. For you to go on your knees and beg or ask somebody to marry you, it's a sign of submission. To me, it's a sign of weakness. And I don't think men should do that. Now, some people may agree, some people may not agree. It's fine. You know, it's okay. I respect your opinion. All right. But I just don't think a man should do that. Sis, you know, I hope it's for life. I do wish you all the best with that. Honestly, I do. All right. So we talk about the proposals. All right. You know, people come up creative. And I know our women or women in general, they love the fantasy of being proposed to. But my sisters, if your man, okay, ever get to the point where he's going on his knees to propose, I am suggesting that you pick him up. You pick him up. Don't let his knees touch the floor and ask you to marry him. It's a sign of weakness. It's a sign of submission. So if you honor your man, okay, and you want your man to be a man, don't let him be submissive. Okay? And that is just my opinion. All right? Now, let us talk about the marriage itself. And my sister, the Melanated Love, she said that she got proposed to, and I'm happy for her. But my sister, I want to inject some thoughts into you right now. Okay? And what I mean by that is the way the system is set up. All right? Remember, we are part of a system that's foreign to us. In other words, I always like to talk to the indigenous people. And again, I like to make my disclaimer because I am talking to the indigenous peoples around the world, in the Americas, definitely for sure. And before the invaders come, or before the invaders came, the system that they have, we didn't have it. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. You see, you have to realize that marriage is a business. Now, whether you agree with it or not, that's okay. I respect your opinion. Okay, it's okay to disagree. But I'm going to explain to you why marriage is a business, especially within the constructs of the United States. First of all, when you get that marriage certificate, okay, and you sign that certificate, that is a contract. It is a bond. And the marriage certificate, just like the birth paper, if you look at it, they are made of the same stock. It is bond paper. It is a contract. So therefore, your marriage is not just between you and your husband. Your marriage is between you, your husband, the God in the Bible. I don't know where that God came from, but it wasn't the God our ancestors worshiped. So I don't subscribe to that God. But anyway, that is the case. All right. My sister said, Cassandra said, in high school, they conditioned the students to ask girls out to the prom. It is a business, though. It is a binding contract. That's correct. You are absolutely right. So the marriage certificate is bond paper. It is a contract. Okay. So when you get married, that contract is not just between you and your husband. That contract is between you, your husband, the United States of America, which is the government, and their God in the Bible. Now, marriage is also a spiritual thing. It is not just a physical thing. It's also a spiritual thing. That's why they say, what God put together, okay, let no man put asunder. But the question remains is, what God are they talking about? Because 75% of the marriages that take place between you, your husband, the government, and the God in the Bible end up in divorce. They end up in child support. They end up in court. So apparently, the God that they say, let no man put asunder, apparently the God is not working things out. So I'm just giving you things to think about here. All right. So know that your marriage is not between you and your husband. It is between you, your husband, the government, and a God they gave you in the Bible. So literally, okay, you have bind yourself physically and spiritually to whatever entity that they call that God in the Bible. Hey, what's up, twin? I hope that's making sense. That is why it is a business. You have to pay to get the certificate. You have to pay the pastor. It is not free. Okay? And when things don't work out, you have to pay them to get rid of the person that it didn't work out with. So I'm showing you it's a business. All right. The sister said, I did bring this up to him. Even though we aren't married according to the law, he always called me his wife. So I never wanted a wedding. He introduced it as his wife, and we said our own vows. That is beautiful, my sister. Okay. And to be quite frank, you could actually create your own marriage certificate. You see, it's okay to have the contract between you and your husband. You see, I want to make sure I'm fair now. Make sure you feel, as the woman in the relationship, you feel as secure as possible. All right? Because that's the man's job, to protect, to secure his woman. Comfortable. Okay? You guys could create your own certificate between you and your significant other. Now, that marriage would only be between you and your husband. State, and not that God in the Bible. Okay? Business. And they have every single right to intervene or when they deem it's necessary. Because they are the ones playing God in your marriage. I hope that's making sense. Family, it is a contract. It is a contract that you are signing. Believe me, look at the marriage certificate. Look at the birth certificate and see what paper it's on. It is a contract. The same way when you sign the birth certificate, you sell out your children, you give away slaves to the government, is the same way you are making the government the Lord or the God of your marriage. Okay? So, hey, peace, Lynn Lavy. Welcome back. All right? There you go. It's a contract. The sister said, will you show me how? Yes, my sister. I mean, honestly, actually have what you call damn, I forgot. You could go online and you could put in you know, when you get not a blueprint, but they have stencils of marriage certificates. Okay, and you could literally put what you want on it. You could get like an editable program, maybe like Microsoft or something, but they have some real nice professional looking ones. Okay, real classy. All right, and you could actually buy it, or some of them you could get for free. But I suggest you buy it, because the better stock and better quality paper, you have to pay for it. It's not that expensive. But you could put online in Google marriage certificate, you know, paper or sample, whatever it is, and you could order it. Okay, and that would be the contract between just you and your husband. Now, if you feel that you want to go to a church, you know, I'm not telling you don't do it. Me, I don't believe in churches. I don't condone churches, but however, if that's your thing, I respect it. But if you if you want the pastor to make sure y'all get married, then you could bring your own birth certificate and let him know that that's part of your culture, because you are not bound to their own culture, and to the culture of what you call the United States. Kiyobe said you don't need to create a marriage certificate. Okay, well, that's true. You know, I mean, if you choose not to, I mean, like I said, if you want to, you could, but you don't have to. All right, you really don't have to. And I know a lot of times, you know, women do it because they want to feel that sense of security. They want to feel like they literally want to see something on paper, you know? And hey, you know what? If that works for you guys, that works for y'all. But all I'm just saying is, you know, if you get the state involved, then your marriage is between you, the state, all right, and that God in the Bible, all right? The sister said, no church. No complaints out of me. Okay, you got that. All right. Don't create a birth certificate. It is foreign to us. Oh, absolutely. You know, because we didn't have that before the colonizers came. All right. When when a man took a woman as his wife, or a woman had a man as her husband, that was just what it was, common law. You know, common law marriages. All right. Common law marriages. Nobody had to give you permission to marry your wife, okay, or your husband. And just in case things didn't work out, you didn't have to get permission to get rid of the person. You know, again, that is just a business. It is literally a business. All right. So we spoke of oh yes, you have to keep the state out of indigenous business. Absolutely. And that's why, you know, I spend a lot of times, you know, talking to the indigenous people, because we are, for those of us who are indigenous to the Americas, okay, we you know, we are indigenous. So we do things the way our ancestors did it, okay, before the colonizers came. All right, the sister said, not common law, that's still state ran. All right, so, you know, we have a couple of, you know, great comments in this, so pay attention. All right. Shelley says, this is why I will have spiritual ceremony. The government will not have that control over me. Okay. Now, so now that we spoke about the proposal, we spoke about the marriage contract, because it is a contract. All right. Now we're going to talk about the children. Okay. Again, family, you have to realize that the United States, okay, is all about business. The state is all about business. It's all about commerce. It's all about making that dollar. It's all about currency. You got to keep flowing. So every little facet of your life is about taking money out of your pocket to get up in your business. Okay, that's what it's all about. Sister Kia said the state deal in marriage bonds and financial instruments. Absolutely. All right. It's a certificate that binds you with a contract where that gives them the authority, okay, to mingle in your life whenever they so choose. All right. And that's literally what it means. Okay. All right. What's the etymology of the word contract? Well, I know con, you know, in itself means to, you know, deceive, you know, but we'll have to look at the word tract. So maybe we could look that up together. All right. So we're going to talk about the children now. Okay. We're going to talk about the children. We spoke about marriage proposal. We talk about the marriage itself. And now we're talking about the children. Now, if you are indigenous to any part of the world, but like I said, I'm in the Americas. So we're going to talk about being indigenous to the Americas. From the moment, okay, that first contract with the marriage, they're already in your business. All right. They are already in your business. Now, because they joined you together and they were the ones who provided that contract, okay? For some reason, they feel some entitlement to your children. So when your children are born, here comes another contract, which is the birth certificate. Again, it's another certificate. It's a contract. Okay. I spoke about that earlier. All right. And a lot of times, a lot of parents don't know. You know what? A lot of our parents didn't know either. So when they had our birth certificates, they signed it. And literally, when you sign the birth certificate, you are telling the federal government, here comes another slave. I mean, in layman's terms, that's what it means. All right. You're literally surrendering your children when you sign a birth certificate. Now, as indigenous people, we never had birth certificates. We never had that. You didn't need a birth certificate to prove that somebody was your child. Okay? We didn't need a birth certificate, all right, for that child to know who his or her mother or father was. Again, that is a form of a contract set up, okay, to enslave your children. To me, it is just a document, all right, that creates a perpetual cycle of slavery. Okay? Contract is a mutual agreement between two or more parties. Well, if you sign it, then definitely it has to be a contract, because if the mother signs the birth certificate, you know what I'm saying? Then she did sign the contract. So for me, all right, if I'm gonna have children, more children, all right, hopefully the woman that I have children with, you know, she would be on the same page, all right, and she wouldn't get too caught up in the whole thing about, oh well, we have to get a birth certificate and we have to do this and we have to do it. It's, to me, it's gonna cause a lot of problems, you know. So it's always good to have a partner, all right, or a husband or a wife that you and them are actually on the same page, because it creates less tension and less problems. Okay, family? So literally, as indigenous people, we have to stay away from these contracts, all right, that's presented to us. All right, the sister said, this is the eye of the federal government. Absolutely. Hey, what's up, Jazzy? High vibes, high vibes. What's good? Cassandra says, what about certain perks you get when the marriage is documented? For example, an accident occurs and only immediate family members or spouse is allowed to see the medical patient. You talking about in a marriage, or you talking about the child? Because you see, and somebody asks, let me just make sure I get that question on Cassandra. What about certain perks you get when the marriage is documented? For example, an accident occurs and only immediate family and members or spouse is allowed to see the medical patient. Well, you don't need a marriage certificate for that. You know, I mean, it's literally your wish. I mean, you could sign up, you could write something up on a piece of paper and sign it. You know, you could sign it, and to me, that's enough acknowledgement to show your wishes. I mean, that's what I would do. You feel me? There you go. You know, sign a power of attorney. No need for a marriage certificate. So, you know, the sister, to answer your question, Cassandra, a sister gave some great advice. She said that Sister Kia said, sign a power of attorney. No need for a marriage certificate. Okay, because the power of attorney gives that same authority, all right, to that person, okay, to act on your behalf. So you could do that. And yet still, it is not a contract between you and, you know, the colonizers. Okay, that's still between you and your family. So you could do that as well. You see, the key is, as indigenous people, to be self-sufficient as much as possible. Okay, the sister said, my next birth will not be in a hospital. Absolutely. And like I said in an earlier video, before they came, we had our people had natural births. All right. The whole concept of having a woman lay on her back in artificial light, having a baby, it goes against nature. Okay, it goes against nature. A woman literally is supposed to be standing to give birth because of the gravitational pull. And it's supposed to be in natural light, not artificial light. Okay? And the way they have their system set up is, when you have your children, the first face that your children see, they don't look like you. To me, that's not natural. That is not natural. You want your child to be the first faces that your child see is, if it is the family, all right, is the family of the children. How are you going to be sitting in a hospital, okay, and have a baby? First off, you lying down on your back. It's going against gravity, all right, in artificial light, and then your baby come out and your baby see a bunch of faces that it's never going to see again. And not even that, they smack your baby to see if your baby is going to cry. I don't know who came up with that concept, but why do you have to spank the baby? To what? To see if the baby is alive or see if the baby is going to cry? I really, if somebody could explain that to me, please, in the chat, explain it to me. But I don't see the reason for smacking the baby. Me personally, when I was a baby, the doctor smacked me and I peed in his face. Like I just, it didn't work for me. So that was my experience. Now I'm just playing, I'm just joking. But sister said, never give birth in a hospital. They will assign a birth certificate. They have to stay away from the clinics. Also, they will report the expected birth. All right. Like I said in a video earlier, and the sister just confirmed that. Okay. The hospitals, they are mandated to give a record of every birth. Okay. That's just part of the system. So yes, stay away from their clinics. Okay. I am certainly sure before they came with all their hospitals and all their mandates, our women didn't have a problem giving birth. You see, we have become too dependable on the people who are occupying our lands. And to me, that's the problem. So we have to go back to being self-sufficient again, self-sustained. That is the key. And too many people are getting comfortable. Okay, they're getting too comfortable. So we have to go back to the ways of our ancestors. And the cut of the umbilical cord, let us talk about that. Okay, when a new soul, a new baby is coming into a new dimension, okay, these people, they don't even give the baby time to adjust. Because remember, the baby is coming from a different realm, okay, coming into a physical realm. And the baby has to take time to adjust to the breathing of the third dimensional world, which is Earth. And they just cut the umbilical cord. That's why a lot of people, they grow up and they are not breathing properly because they cut the umbilical cord too soon. Okay, when you breathe, okay, when you breathe, you're supposed to start that breath, or when you inhale, the breath is supposed to go down to your lower chakra and then come back up, and then you exhale. But because the umbilical cords of most babies were cut too soon, all right, and they didn't adjust to that breathing in that new world, then most of us, when we breathe down to our throat chakra and then we let it back out, which is an incorrect way of breathing. So literally, people are walking around not breathing properly. So I hope that makes sense. The umbilical cord is supposed to fall off by itself, if I'm not mistaken, because I know that's how they used to do it in the islands. Even, well, before people start rushing to the hospital, but I have seen a few natural births, okay? And they didn't just cut the umbilical cord. They made sure that the baby got used to breathing, all right? And then it fell off. So I think that's the most natural way to do it, all right? And also, another reason why you want to have your baby at home is because, or away from the hospitals, is because of, again, the placenta, all right? They take all those things to do all this extra, research, and they use it for medicine and all this cancer cure and all that. Who knows what they're using it for? But you want to keep all that. I mean, I know in some cultures, they use the placenta to do certain things. I think they boil it and they drink it. I know in some cultures they do that, but I don't know much about that, so I'm not going to expound on that. But I know in some cultures they do that. All right. Hey, Chief, you are a sister, but you're also a chief. All right. So don't tell me you're not a sister. You are a sister. You're a woman. So let me address you in the proper term. So my apologies for that, Chief. All right. That is the only way I know. Thank you. Oh, no problem at all. It's best to preserve the umbilical cord, and it naturally detaches, no different than a fruit of a tree. Absolutely. Absolutely. So those are some of the things and some of the practices that we need to go back to. All right. And the chief, gave some great, 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 advice, so y'all could look in the chat and definitely take some notes, especially when it comes to, the contracts and all those things. The chief is, is versed, in, pretty much in a standing of law. So, the chief is definitely an asset to have on the chat tonight. So I appreciate that. Thank you for your presence. And so family, we're still talking about the children here. All right. Again, like the chief was saying, when you have your children in a hospital, they are obligated, all right, they are obligated to register the child. All right. So to me, that is one of the best ways to stop producing slaves. Okay, is to have home births. Okay, home births. We don't need birth certificates. All right, we don't need that. Because once you start creating those things, you start creating slaves because they're keeping a record of their property. All right. So we need to start going back to our ancient ways, because what is the point of having children? Remember, like I said in one of the videos earlier, if you are a slave and you have children, the children also belong to the masters. So at some point, we have to wake up, okay, and cut that cycle of perpetual slavery. All right. We have to start thinking of our children and their children and their children. You have to ask yourself, what is the legacy that I'm going to leave behind? Okay. Am I going to leave a legacy where my children are going to be slaves? Or do you want to change that cycle? And a lot of times people get fearful and people become afraid. All right. Well, I need to go to the hospital. Okay. I need to get, free milk. I need to get, you don't need all that, family. You don't need anything free from them. Okay. You don't need that, because I realize that. And, ladies, please don't take any offense to that. Right. I know a lot of ladies personally. I have heard that they don't want to breastfeed their children because they don't want their children to mess up their breast. Now, I don't know how many ladies in the chat, feel that way, but to me, that don't sound kind of right to me. Because how are you going to have your baby and you don't want to breastfeed your baby because you don't want to mess up your breast, but you have grown men sucking on your breast, but your baby can't suck on your breast? And I'm not trying to be funny. Like, seriously, I'm not trying to be funny. To me, that just doesn't make sense. The mother's milk is the best milk for the baby. So you don't need milk from the government. You don't need that. And that's how you bond with your baby. A lot of women focus on, well, it's going to stretch my breast. What do you mean it's going to stretch your breast? I mean, personally, I think if you work out, okay, before you have your baby, then your body, that elasticity, okay, could also pull your body back a little faster. I have seen that happen, because a lot of times when women work out before they have babies, right, as soon as they have their baby, the body really pulls back really fast. So that's one of the perks to me of working out before you get pregnant. All right, work out. So when you have your baby, it stretches the body a little bit, but after you have your baby, the body could bounce back real fast. But don't be selfish enough to say that I'm not going to breastfeed my baby because it's going to, destroy my body or my breast. Now, I don't think that's a good look. All right. Now, I'm a man, so maybe I'm just saying it from a man's perspective. But my sisters, what y'all think about that? She said, it is superficial. I breastfed my baby. Of course. Hey, much love, King. The sister said hair and skin products from the placenta. Oh, I didn't know that. Why do they take baby's blood immediately? Again, if you having your babies in a hospital, you know, that's not your baby, literally. That's not your baby. That baby becomes an automatic slave. All right. So they have to start keeping their records. They are going to take blood. They might take the footprints. Okay. So that's what they do. That is their system. You feel me? That is their system. Okay. So that's just what it is. So my suggestion is have sister, midwives or mid sisters, whatever you call them, at home and have home births. Okay. To me, that's one of the best ways to prevent, okay, or stop the perpetual cycle of making slave babies for that plantation. All right. And as indigenous people, they cannot force that on you. Okay. That is your right. That is your right. Now, we spoke about the marriage. Okay. We spoke about the proposal, the marriage contracts, the children, and let's talk about what happens sometimes, divorces. Now, you have to think about it. When you get married, you get a marriage certificate. Okay. You get the state's permission, okay, to marry you. And you have to get permission from their God in their Bible, right? And then if things don't work out, then you still have to pay to get rid of the person. What sense does that make? So as you could see all around, it's a business. You pay to get married, okay, to keep the person, and then you pay to get rid of the person. It is still a contract. Because if they feel, you know what, if they feel that you shouldn't get a divorce, they give you a hard time. So those are just some of the things to think about. All right. And also another thing is when you have your children and you have birth certificates or you sign birth certificates, guess what? Your children become wards of the state. So for instance, if they tell you that you have to give your children vaccinations, okay, because the children belong to them, you are just a guardian that's providing you sign the birth certificate, okay? You don't have a choice with that, okay? They have the right. Now, I'm not saying it's moral. They have the right to tell you what to do with your children. So now they are injecting all these needles in your children, vaccinations, 4, 5, 6, 7 vaccinations into newborn babies, just because you signed the birth certificate, just because you went to their hospital. And let's not talk about, if you just happen to be in your home, okay, and you're trying to correct your child and somebody passed and they don't like the way you're talking to your child. And I'm not saying to abuse your child, I'm not saying that, but somebody don't like the way you're talking to your child and they want to be spiteful and they just call 911. ACS, if they feel like it's a case, they could come take your children because it's their children. It is not yours. Now, why give these people so much power over you? Remember, you aren't supposed to subject yourself to these people because we are indigenous to this land. Everything that came after is actually, all right, not for us if we choose not to, how you put it, assimilate. So I hope that makes sense. So when I talk about being indigenous, those are some of the things that I want to talk about as well. Okay? Getting married, having your children, how you function as a family, communicate. It's always about communication. Talk to each other. All right? If you have situations, now, first of all, when you guys got married, the police wasn't there. When you guys were in bed, making love, whatever you want to call it, the police wasn't there. When you had your children, The police wasn't there. The courts weren't there. So how is it when you're having disagreements? Okay, why does the court have to get involved? Why you cannot work it out on your own? That is a legitimate question that I'm asking. That's what I'm asking, family. So I hope this conversation makes sense, and I hope it opened up your mind a little bit. The Almighty King said, long time. Hey, family, I'm here, man. I'm here. High frequency vibration. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. My daughter was a breastfed baby. So family, I just wanted to give you guys some insight on that. All right. You know, this is all about leading up to going back to our ancient ways, going back to our ancestral ways. Okay. Think about everything that we could do or we did, all right, before they came. We still have the right to do those things. Okay, we still have the right to do those things, because you have to realize again that look at how many relationships that you see. People get married and they get divorced, right? How many people literally get divorced or break up and they have a successful business that they built? Think about it. Because at least the people that I've been around, when they get a divorce, literally they have nothing except for anger, hate, okay, and all sorts of names that the man is calling the woman, and all sorts of names that the woman is calling the man. Okay, family. So I think we could do a whole lot better than this. All right. The sister said death certificates. Of course. I mean, come on. You get married, it's a certificate. You get a divorce, it's a certificate. When you die, it's a certificate. It's a business. This whole place is about karmas. It's a business. Sherry says, I have read that if you do a blood over intent, you can get your soul back by giving blood back to nature. What do you think about that? I have never heard about that. You would have to explain that to me. I have read that if you do blood over intent, you can get your soul back by giving blood back to nature. What do you think about that? Well, for me, I haven't lost my soul. I still have my soul is still connected to me. So I have never, I had never had the inclination or the thought of trying to get my soul back. I don't know. How do you lose your soul? Well, I guess some people do lose their soul, don't they? Nah, but I have never lost my soul. I still have it, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. The sister said it sounds like Obia. Well, you know what? There's nothing wrong with Obia. And don't let me scare you, okay? Don't let the colonizers make you think, all right, our ancient practices, okay, is evil or pagan. Don't let them fool you with that, because the same thing they tell you that's pagan, that's what they're using to harness your energy right now. Okay? So don't be afraid of it. To me, Jesus is more pagan than what our ancestors used to practice. Believe that. All right? So we have to keep it real. But family, I just want to say thank you again. Authentic One, what's up, family? What's up? What's up? So I'm not gonna, prolong this conversation. I just wanted to touch on that a little bit on marriage, because somebody was asking. I was talking to a sister earlier, and we were talking about marriage and all that. And what came to mind was when the chief was talking to me, she had mentioned that about the marriage proposal, that if a man asked her to marry her, that she wouldn't want the man to go on his knees because it's a sign of weakness. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? That is true. That is true. And I wouldn't want to go on my knees and propose to a woman. As a man, it makes you look weak. It makes you look weak. So when I was talking to a sister earlier, we were talking about marriage and all that, and she's getting married soon. So then I said, you know what? Maybe I should come do a video and talk about the whole concept of proposal, marriage, certificate, giving birth, and all those things, because we need to go back to our ancient ways. We definitely need to go back to our ancient ways. My brother, you didn't miss anything. You could always go back and check the video. But family, if you have any questions, or anything you want to add, please, let us get into the conversation, because this is about, again, we have to relearn those things, because a lot of we have lost a lot of our ancestral ways. You feel me? So we have to go back to that. Let us not always think that we have to depend on this people. Okay, that, you see, that is the goal, to make us dependent on them. And that's why so many people are afraid. They are fearful to step out, okay, and go off grid and do what they have to do, because they feel that they need what these people have. To me, it's an illusion, because before they came, we had bigger societies, we had more flourishing societies, and guess what? We were free. But now, our people, a lot of our people are enslaved. They are still hustling. They are still trying to survive, but yet still they have a big daddy that has enslaved them and taken care of them, and they are in a worse position than our ancestors used to be. So we got to go back, family. We got to go back. Absolutely, it's mind control. It's mind control. This is to say, Boys to Men sang a song about on bended knees. It's a cultural thing. No, it's not a cultural thing. No, you see, that's a European thing. That's a European thing. I doubt, because first of all, we didn't have marriage certificates. Okay. Back in antiquity, we didn't, I don't think our ancestors had that. You feel me? So that whole concept, again, is to show to let the man be submissive. Okay, let the man be submissive. Let him look weak on his knees. All right. So for me, if I were to get married, I would definitely, not get on my knees. It is not going to happen. And if the woman or women, they're looking for that, it ain't going to happen. I ain't going on my knees. I want to be able to stand up and look my woman in her eyes and propose to her. That's what real men do. Okay? I hope that makes sense. All right, family? So family, this is about, again, being indigenous. Okay, there we go. Go back to nature, brother. Your brother Darren's, what's up? Going back to nature. And what's nature? Nature is what's natural. Okay, that's what's natural to us. We have to go back to that before they came and took away our nature. They came and took away what was natural to us. And they created something that was superficial. Okay, they created an illusion on our realness. And we have to get rid of that illusion, take the blinders out, and see the state that our people are in right now. And we have to go back to our ways. Okay, that's why it's important for us to come together as a people, unite and build. Okay, yep, wedding rings of satin. Yep, that is true. All right, that is true. Just imagine us living in a society where, we don't have to pay rent. Because to me, that's insane. How these people come to our land and they are not paying rent, but they have us paying rent. And not just have us paying rent, they want to force us to pay taxes in our own land. Imagine us going back to our ancestral ways, right? And when you're hungry, you go into the yard, you go into the fields and pick your food. You don't have to pay rent. If you collect rain, okay, nobody's going to charge you for collecting rain. Think about it. Where you don't have to pay for light because we have the light of the sun. Okay? We have the light of the stars and the moon. And even if we have electricity, we don't have to pay for it. This is our home. This is our land. Can you imagine that? Family, all these natural resources from the earth, it's ours. Just imagine not having to pay for gas because the oil is part of Mother Earth and that's our home. How do we allow these systems to come in place and totally control our lives? And people don't see a problem with that. The brother said, King said, to be honest, I have done blood over intent and I truly feel it's a seraphical release for me, and I see a clearer sphere from mine eye through eating the sun through my eye and communicating with ancestors. Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to look into that, family. I have never done it. I don't know what it is. So, King, when we talk, you'll have to explain that to me because I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. High frequency said, but this is all a test to see if we're going to wake up. Oh, yes, of course. It is a test. And guess what? We are going to wake up because we are waking up. Because the mere fact that we are having this conversation right now is a sign that we are waking up. And that's one of the reasons why I do these videos, because I'm trying to get you away from the conscious community. You see, the superficial community. And let's talk about what's real. Let's talk about going back to our indigenous ways. Let's talk about going back to nature. Let us talk about going back to what's natural to us, where we don't have to get up 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 o'clock in the morning to go hustle to work for paper fiat money that has no value. It has no value, but yet still they give us the illusion that it has value, and we are here working ourselves to death just so we could make $1. It is that energy again. It is that energy again. All right. He says, when we wake up and realize our greatness, the Most High will give us our stuff back. Of course. Of course. Because that is the key. The key is to become aware. The key is to wake up, family. That's what it is, because our land is waiting there for us to go back to. It is there waiting. But so many people are asleep. They cannot see that. They are so distracted, they cannot see that. And that's why they give you so much technology, because they have to keep you distracted. Every other week, a new phone is coming out. Okay? Every other day, a new television show is coming out. You feel me? And then the conscious community is not helping out, because every day it's somebody versus somebody. It's always a battle. It's always drama. It's always chaos. So you see the temptation, okay? You see how tough it is. But for those of us who are aware, okay, we need to unite. And what people don't realize is, if we become aware of who we are and we put things in motion, like the brother said, we could get back ours overnight. I'm talking about overnight. Wake up, and you will wake up in a whole new paradigm where you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay for education, you don't have to pay for gas, you don't have to pay for food, you don't have to pay for water. Now, that's what I call living. What we're doing right now is called survival. And survival puts you in a mode to compete against your brothers and sisters. So therefore, you would never want to see your brother have more than you. You would never want to see your sister have more than you, because you have to compete. I have to show you I'm better than you. I have to show you that I'm smarter than you. I have to show you that my house is bigger than yours. I have to show you that my weave is nicer than yours. I have to show you that my pumps is higher than yours. I have to show you that my bag is more expensive than yours. I have to show you that my rim for my car is more expensive than yours. I have to show you that my stereo is louder than yours. Why does it always have to be a competition amongst ourselves? Huh? Why is that? Why can't it be, you know what? I have 2 bananas. I want to make sure you have 2 as well. Why can't it be that? Why can't it be, man, you know what, bro? I got some nice rims on my car. I want to make sure you got the same rims. Why can't it be that? Why can't it be a sister saying, you know, I love this dress right here. Yes, I have the same dress, but I'm going to get you one too. I don't mind going to the club with us having the same dress. Now, some people say that's tacky. No, it's not. Okay? That's making sure your sister is good. She look as good as you do. But it's always a competition. It's always a competition. We always got to take each other down because that is what the slave master taught our people. But family, the reality is not that far. It is right at our fingertips. All we have to do is wake up and realize who we are. We have the innate power to do it over and over and over again. You know why? Because we did it before. The beauty about making $1 million is this. You always know how to do it again. And we have built empires. Okay? We have built major cities. We have that in our DNA. We don't need them to do anything for us. We don't need them. And that is facts. Okay? I don't see animals paying rent. I don't see animals buying water. I don't see them doing it. So why are we doing it? And we are supposedly the most intelligent. Okay? That is when you're being controlled. That is when you're a slave to a system. It's time that we get out of her. Indigenous people aren't or shouldn't be subjected to such atrocities. Okay? That goes against international and human rights laws. I know people need to wake up. All right? Let me read some of the comments. All right, the great move that spoke there is no debate. No, of course. Spells and curses. Yes, indeed. It's like dictating your reality because you do not know who you are. That is, you see, that is the problem. You see, when you don't know who you are, in other words, when you are a minor, you see, they call you a minority, not because you are a minority in number, is because of your state of mind. You are a minor. And what's a minor? A minor is a child. A child needs a parent because they cannot handle their own affairs. So the United States of America has become your parent. Okay? Because you cannot handle your own affairs. But the moment that you grow up and say, listen, I am an adult. I know who I am. So therefore, I am leaving home. I am coming out of her. And I am stepping out on my own. And that's what our people need to do. Because they are not calling you a minor because you are a minority in number. No. Obviously, we are the majority. But they are calling you a minority because of your state of mind. Okay? Because you are lost. Because of the you don't know who you are. All right. You were adopted, so to speak. They are your foster parents. But family, I am telling you who you are. You can have Aborigines. You are indigenous to the Americas. And if you are this country, okay, or out this continent, you are still indigenous wherever you are. Whether you're in Europe, whether you're in England, whether you're in Africa, you are indigenous to some part of the world. And as indigenous people, we have the right to self-governance. We have the right to take care of ourselves. We have the right to practice our own spirituality. We have the right to teach our own children. See, that's the key. It's education. It's because of the miseducation. When you have the enemy teaching your children, what do you think is going to happen? They're not going to teach your children how to be free. No, they're going to teach your children how to remain slaves. And you better believe that. If any job is paying you $25 an hour and you think it is a great job, just imagine how much your boss is making on you per hour. I guarantee you, if your boss is paying you $25 an hour, he or she is making at least $350 or $500 an hour for your hour of work. You better believe that. Remember, like I said earlier in my last video, The human life is the greatest currency, okay? The greatest currency, the greatest asset that we have. And if you could take your energy, which is your currency, okay, and give it to somebody for $25 an hour, just imagine how much they are making on you per hour. They're making $500 to $1,000 for every hour of work that you give them. So my question to you is this: why not be the boss? Why always be the employee? Why can't we be the employers? That's who we are. We are bosses. We are the natural heir to this land. Okay? How is that the landlords became the tenants? We were the landlords of this land. How did we become the tenants? And how did the tenants, the people who came here, they were the tenants. They became the landlords. They flipped things around. Now, family, it's time for us to, you know what? I don't know if we are walking on our heads and we're seeing things upside down, but it's time for us to come back into who we are and let them know that we are still here. We never left. We are not from Africa. We have always been here in the Americas. This is our home. And we are not going anywhere. Okay? And we are not black. We are not African American. We are American Aborigines. What does that mean? We are the original Americans. And this is our home. And you see, as soon as we recognize that and we step up and we make that statement, I guarantee you things are going to change. Now, I'm not guessing it. I am telling you things are going to change. And that's a fact. All right, I see we have, she said, you talk directly to purpose, Stockholm Syndrome, beautiful. Family, you know, we just have to keep it honest with ourselves, all right? That's the only time. I know sometimes it's going to hurt, but it's only the truth that's going to set us free. We have to be honest with ourselves, okay? The life that we are living, it's not natural, okay? The life that we are living is not of nature, okay? It's not of nature. Anytime you can't pay your bills and somebody could come and do this because you didn't pay it, put you in the darkness, that means you are a slave. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. Anytime you fall into hardship and you cannot pay your bills and anybody could come do this and put you in the darkness, you are a slave. I'm only speaking the truth. You know, hate me for telling the truth, but I'm always going to speak the truth. You see, we have to put ourselves in a position where this cannot happen. I am here in Brooklyn and I am seeing all my young brothers walking in the streets homeless. That shouldn't be happening. When you have people like 50 Cent, when you have people like Oprah, when you have people like Will Smith, when you have people like Jamie Foxx, when you have people like Tyler Perry, raking in millions and millions and millions of dollars, when we have brothers and sisters that's walking around the streets, they even barely have a pair of shoes to put on their feet. I see our elders in the streets begging every single day because these people are coming into our neighborhoods and taking over our neighborhoods, kicking our people out their homes. But yet still, when a new movie comes out, y'all want to run to go support it. When a new song come out, you want to run out and go support it. You are supporting the same people that's helping to keep you down. We have to stop that. Okay? I don't care who's doing the movie. All right? Let them keep their movie because they ain't doing nothing for us. And that is the fact. You tell me, what has Will Smith done for you? What has Oprah done for you? What has Tyler Perry done for you? But every time they have a movie, the movie theater is packed. At some point, we got to wake up and say, listen, you fool me once. Okay? No, let me rephrase that. You fool me once, it's your fault. You fool me twice, it's my fault. Okay? At some point, we have to take responsibility, family. We have to take responsibility at some point and say enough is enough is enough. When are we going to say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired? When? How is that a lot of these Caucasians, all day they could be in restaurants, going to bars. I mean, I go to the city in Manhattan and I see bars are crowded from 23rd Street all the way up to 59th Street. Okay? Every single day, bars are crowded. I'm talking about all day. And I'm asking myself, don't these people work? But the thing is, they work, but they invest. They have investments. And not even just that, they have what's called generational wealth because they came, they raped our land, and their ancestors passed it down to them. So family, you see, we have some work to do. Okay? We have some work to do. This is a race, man. The race is not about the complexion of your skin, the disguise. The race is about who could get to the top first. Okay? Literally, it's an action word. It's not an adjective. It's not a descriptive word. And we are back there, family. And we have some making up to do. They are playing chess while we are playing checkers. And I'm going to tell you, okay, one of the quickest ways for us to get back on top, I'm going to tell you a little secret. I have told you before, but don't tell nobody. One of the quickest ways for us to get back on top is to go back into our proper identity, which is the indigenous peoples of the Americas. I promise you, if we go back to who our ancestors were before they came, a right to claim what belonged to our ancestors, because what belonged to your parents also belonged to you. Don't tell nobody I told you that. That's why they keep changing your identity. They know black people cannot get reparations because black people don't exist. You see, African Americans cannot get reparations because African Americans don't exist. But indigenous people could get redress, okay, for slavery, okay, the abuse, genocide. I mean, the list go on and on and on, but only as indigenous people, because when they came, that's who they met, indigenous people. They didn't meet black people. You became black later when they made you a citizen. Okay? I hope y'all peep the game. And I'm giving you some jewels. It's up to you to do what you want to do with it. That's real talk. Let us go into some of the chat. It says, this is not for the feel-good knowledge. This is hard facts. Absolutely, boss up. You already know, man. I got to keep it real. I tell people I'm going to hurt you with the truth and hurt you with a lie. Okay? Unlike these so-called lecturers and teachers in this conscious community, they tell you things to make you feel good. I don't want you to feel good. I want you to get uncomfortable so you could get off your ass and put in that work, because we got work to do. All right? This fear of death, or personally to protect what is rightfully ours, to not have fear of death. Of course. I mean, I say that all the time. Death doesn't exist. You see, that's what they teach you. You know, that's what they teach you. To be afraid of death. Death doesn't exist because the physical body is not you, okay? The physical body is not you. You are not going to die. You are immortal. And as long as our people get this, things will change, because that means they have no fear. No, I'm not saying be stupid. I'm not saying that, but be fearless, okay? And the moment they realize that we are not afraid, trust me, because a bully is only going to bully you when he knows that you are fearful. But anytime you stand up to a bully, he finds somebody else to go pick on. And that's what we have to do. We have to stand up to the bully. Let them know that we are not afraid. Do what you got to do, but we are not afraid. This is our home. This is our land, and we are going to fight for it. Don't tell us we are African American. We are not from Africa. And don't tell us we are black. We are not a color. Okay? Black is not a nationality. It is not an identity. It is a descriptive word. And we are not even black. This is black. Okay? This is black. And when we talk about color-wise, this is black. But when we're looking at black, also the etymology of the word black means pale. It also means to bleach. And it also means leprosy. So like I said before, when you call yourself black, you are saying you have leprosy. You are bleached out, which means that it's a curse. So I'm giving my people enough information so that you could start thinking before you go to bed tonight. Here's another thing that I want you to go look at. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Go look at on drip. You see, I always have to keep mentioning on drip because I want to open up your mind so that you can see the rights that you have as indigenous people. You see, as indigenous people, not as black people, not as African Americans, but as indigenous people. Family, this is where it's at for us. And if we miss this, it's going to be another 500 years. But I'm not going to manifest that because I know we're going to get it. Because the time is right. Our ancestors, they have woken up and they have sent the warriors. And we are here. We never left. Okay? It is time to get up. It's time to wake up. Enough is enough. All right? You should be tired of waking up 6 o'clock in the morning to go do somebody else's job. When they tell you that they're going to pay you what they want to pay you. All your life, you go to school from the age of 2 to the age of 12 or 13. Then you go into high school. Then you go into college. Your entire life, you're in school. And then after you get the degree, you still have to go beg for a job. And when you beg for the job, they tell you you don't have enough experience. That doesn't even make sense, family. But you see, that happens when you have to go beg people for their jobs. Okay? That happens when you only have the mindset of an employee and not an employer. Be a boss. If you can't do it alone, get 4, 5, 6 people. Put some contracts together and open up businesses. Okay? There is no reason why we can't do it. We have done it before and we could do it again and we are going to do it again. Okay? We are going to do it again. All right? Let me just completely subtle insanity states is the human story. We are the only people on earth. Okay, I'm trying to read that don't know who we are. Family, you see, it's a beautiful thing that is true. A lot of our people don't know who they are. But a lot of us do know who we are. And that's why I do what I do, okay, to bring the awareness to our people, letting them know who they are, so that they could no longer going around talking about I'm black, I'm African American. That makes you stateless. It makes you homeless, okay? You have to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you are lost. And that's just the honest truth. All right, family? So it's time to wake up, okay? They run scams on our people to take their property. Oh, it's happening all over the neighborhood. You see, that's one of the reasons why I'm moving, because the lady lost her house, okay? And you have all these so-called Jews coming over, you know, with bank papers and all that stuff, because that's what they're doing. But you see, people perish for the lack of knowledge. If our people knew who they were, then that wouldn't be happening to us, okay? Because we are the natural heir to this land. And I'm going to repeat this again. When you know that you're indigenous and you go back to your indigenous status, you have a claim to your land. But because you're black and you're African American, you have no claim to anything, because that don't exist. It is not a nationality. It is not an identity. I like to say that because you see, repetition, I have to repeat it so that it could sink in. Get addicted to the word indigenous. When anybody asks you, who are you? I am indigenous to the Americas. Just, I don't care if you have to write that word 100 times so that you could get used to it. Who are you? You don't know who you are. Yes, I do. I'm indigenous to the Americas. I am an American Aborigine. Okay? I am not an African descent. I am not from Africa. I have never been to Africa. My parents have never been to Africa. Their parents have never been to Africa. My ancestors did not come from Africa. My parents came from the American continent. I am a true American Aborigine. Now, I do have some African ancestry because they brought some of them here to mix with our people. However, my people were already here. So I am not from Africa. I have said that a million times, and I'll say it again. Okay? So we have to know who we are. We have to know that. We have to know that we are the American Aborigines, that we have always been here. Even Scott Bison, I think he's one of the senators from Alabama or Kentucky. It kind of said, he said it kind of slipped out his mouth to call us American Aborigines. And the people got mad. Oh, we are African American. I'm like, oh my goodness. These people are lost. Because the man know who you are. All right? The sister said, I have mixed ancestry. Sis, that's possible. That's possible. All I tell folks is, know who your ancestors are on this side of the continent. But a lot of us have mixed ancestry. But one thing I know is I am American Aborigines first, and everything came and mixed with who I was. So that's what I claim. But yes, I do have African ancestry. I have European ancestry. I have all that in me. Okay? But I was an American Aborigine first. All right? So that's the statement. That's who I claim. That's who I am. So I hope that makes sense. All right? So family, the brother said, how sick are they to hide that for so long? Well, you know what, family? They always say that if you want to hide anything from a you know what, put it in a book. Lately, our people are reading, and I'm happy with that. Okay? Our people are doing research. Our people are wanting to know. And it's a beautiful thing because you see, again, like I said, it's the age of Aquarius. It's the questioning age, the awakening. People are inquiring. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, that's why I tell people, it's a beautiful time that we're in right now. And because they know we're waking up, okay, they have to put more pressure. But the more pressure that they put, it's going to unite us even more. Because you see how we are connecting? Because the ancestors are putting all the right pieces in place. All right? I am connecting with more brothers. I am connecting with more sisters. And we are putting things together and we are making moves. You feel me? So it's a beautiful time that we're living in for those who are looking and seeking. But for those who want to stay asleep, oh man, it's going to be sad. All right? It's going to be sad. But family, before I go, I just want you to know that this is your home. The American continent is your home. Okay? They have lied to us. They have misclassified us. They have enslaved us. They have raped our mothers. They raped our fathers. They raped their sons and their daughters. They came into our land. We had spirituality. They even took that away from us. And they gave us their fake gods and their fake Jesus. Okay? That is how damaged our people are. Now it's time for healing. Now it's time to go back to the ways of our ancestors. Honor thy mother and father so that your days will be longer. You cannot afford to abandon your American home anymore. The American continent is our mother. That's our home. They told us we came here on slave ships. No, we didn't. We have always been here. They told us that we are slaves. No, we built pyramids and we built cities. Our continent, especially on the mainland, has always been the beacon of the world. So we are a very great people. Just know that. Okay? And it's time for us to stop looking at our history from the lens of slavery. We weren't slaves. Of course, they enslaved some of our ancestors. Yes, we know that. We cannot deny that. But they didn't start off as slaves. Okay? And no, we didn't come from Africa. Life didn't originate in Africa. That is a lie as well. These people from day one has been lying to us continuously. And you have your conscious community, they are lying to you as well. You have your lecturers, they're lying to you as well. Because they see profit in keeping you dumb and stupid and lost. No, I'm not calling you that. I'm just telling you that's what they think. Because they want to keep you nationless. They want to keep you homeless. That's why they're trying to send you to Africa where you don't belong. That is not your home. Okay? And get away from calling yourself black. Okay? Black is a corporate construct. That means that you were a slave. You have to get that. Because if you don't get it, then you're not going to get it. All right? So with that being said, well, you know what? Hey, what's up, Aboriginal American? You know, we lost a lot of our history. That is true. You know, a lot of it was buried because even when I go to certain libraries, okay, the chief and I, you know, we have done some research and we went to some libraries, right? And family, a lot of our history is buried deep, 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 deep. I'm talking about, like, seriously, it is so deep. And those libraries, they put our history in. It's where most of the Caucasians are in their neighborhoods. So the key is literally to hide that information from us. And in those books, it tells you about the American Aborigine. It tells you about our people who was actually here. And we have been here for so long, they don't even know where we come from. Family, I swear to you, on one of my grandmother's graves, I read a book in one of those libraries. I can't remember exactly the name of it, but it had something to do with prehistoric America. And they said that the people that they met here, okay, they were Negroes, dark skin, right? But they have been here for so long, they don't even know where they came from. I swear to you, that's the truth. I read it with my own eyes. That's how long we have been in the Americas. Yep. So believe that. We came from the ancient ones. All right. Our people get scared when we say we aren't African, because you see, that's what they were taught. You feel me? You have to realize that if your entire life you were taught something and all of a sudden somebody's trying to take that away from you, you're going to get defensive. Just like Christianity. When you tell Christians Jesus was never real, he never existed, they will kill you for their Jesus. Because they want to be washed with the blood. Like, how sick is that? That you want to be washed with the blood of a man. I mean, a lot of our sisters, they're in love with Jesus like Jesus is having sex with them. Oh, Jesus is my man. What Jesus is your man? What? I mean, that's how sick it is. That's how damaged our people are. You have women in the church who love Jesus more than they love their husband. That is sick. If I were any one of them husband, I would say, you know what, tonight, let Jesus give it to you. Because you love Jesus, let him give it to you from the back. Because he needs some damn sex. That is sick, man. For real. So I get it. I get it. When it's something that was forced upon you and it was handed down from generation to generation to generation, family, it just seems so real. You can't, even some people, you cannot even tell some people that Santa Claus is not real. Just imagine something like Jesus when they tell him that's going to give you eternal life. It's called mental illness. Exactly. It's real. It's real. And you have to think about it. Okay? We have to use some common sense here. All right? Why would people enslave you? Right? Think about it. Now, let's use some logic here, right? Why would people enslave you? First, they came with the symbol of the cross. Okay? Why would they enslave you? Rape your mother, rape your father, rape their daughters and their sons. Okay? They used to let the husband stand right there and watch his wife getting raped. And he couldn't do a damn thing about it. The woman had to stand there and watch her husband getting raped by these savages. But yet still they want to call us savages, right? And they tell you, if you don't become a Christian, you are going to die or become a slave or Christianity. Those were the choices. A slave, you die, or you became a Christian. Guess what? I want you to take a wild guess what our ancestors chose. That's right. Because if you look on every block in our neighborhood, they have at least 6, 7 churches on each block, at least here in Brooklyn. So they decided to be Christians. Okay? They decided to adopt the religion of the enslavers because they wanted to survive. It wasn't by choice. So think about this here for a second. After they rape your little sister and your little brother, and your mother had to stand there and watch your father get raped so that they could be Christians, so that they could accept Jesus. Right? Why would these evil people turn around and say, you know what, man? I know we did all that to your people, but you know, we love you so much. We are going to give you a God that's going to give you a better life in heaven. Family. Wow. I don't think you heard what I just said. Why would these people treat you the way they are treating you right now, but yet still be so caring and be so concerned about what happened to you when you die? Chief, don't hurt them. The truth hurts, and a lot of people are not going to like it. That is sad. It just don't make any sense. I am going to treat you like an animal here while you are alive, while you are human. But because I love you so much, when you die, I'm going to give you a God or a Jesus that's going to send you to a heaven for eternal life. Oh my goodness. Wow. Family, we better wake up and give these people back their religion. Give them back their Jesus. Give them back their God in their Bibles. Give them back their Allahs and their Jehovahs. Give it back to them. Okay? Because they were the ones who enslaved our people. And that's just real talk. And these pastors, they know. But you see, it's a business. What the pastors are not telling the people is that 60% of the offerings is going to Rome and 40% is going to the crown of England. They're not telling them that though. And they're getting a salary. Okay? Pastors have to hustle. It's a job. And I'm not mad at them, but at least keep it real with the people. It's a hustle. Okay? Just like these dudes in the conscience community doing their lectures. It's a hustle. I'm not mad at them. Okay? But I don't have the heart of my people. I can't do it. You know, I always tell people I would rather go in the streets and beg than to sell out my people. Because I do realize that there is an eternal spiritual price to pay. Yes, the instant gratification may be I'll make a lot of money. I will have a big house, drive nice cars. I will be flossing. But guess what? My soul will be condemned. And that's a price that I don't want to pay. People don't realize that there is no God that's looking down to punish you. There is no devil waiting in hell for you with a pitchfork. You are the one that creates your own karma. Based on your actions, you create your own karma. In other words, you are your own God and you are your own devil. And that is real talk. Y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up. That's the problem. We have too many sellouts and boule. That is true, family. But you know, family, at the end of the day, guess what? We all have a responsibility. We are not children. Okay? We are not children. We all have a responsibility as to what we take in. Just like I said earlier, if you want to go to the corner store and eat bonbons all day, in 7 months, you will look like a bonbon. Okay? If you want to go to the corner store and eat dairy ice cream every day, in about a year, you will look like a fat cow. Literally, you are what you eat. So when you listen to these dudes poison you, that is your fault. It is nobody else's. Because a lot of people don't do the research. They just hear somebody say something. Oh, wow. Yo, you're so smart. They don't do no research. But you see me, I don't rock like that. I research things. And after I research it, what I do, I insert. I go within and I ask my ancestors to guide me. Let it be clear to me. That's what I do. That's just what I do. Okay? The 501c3s, of course. Churches, they are a business. It is a business. I always tell people, prove me wrong. If all the people who go to church, they say, listen, we are not going to pay no more tithes and offerings, I promise you, the pastors will shut down the churches the very next day. Because it is a business. And any business that's not making money, they will shut it down. As a matter of fact, a lot of these so-called Jews are literally closing churches down right here in Brooklyn and turning them into condos. That's how much respect they have for the God that they gave you after they raped your parents. But y'all don't want to wake up and see them. They are literally turning churches into condos. But yet still, these Jews, okay, the Germans who converted to Judaism, okay, they are the ones who gave you your Bibles and your Jesus and all those things. They are literally taking your churches and turning them into condos. That's how much respect they have for your Jesus. But yet still you want to be washed in the blood. Huh? You want to be washed in the blood. Wow. It's a beautiful thing, huh? It's a beautiful thing. Even in the Bible, Jesus said he came to destroy families, turn mothers against fathers and children against their mothers and their mothers and fathers against their children. Right from Jesus's mouth. The man is the Antichrist. He didn't come to bring peace. He didn't come to save you. He came to destroy you. Literally, they didn't tell you that Jesus is the devil. These people lied about everything. Every single thing. Jesus didn't come to save you. Jesus came to enslave you. Now, I know a lot of you ain't ready for this because I didn't mean to go there, but y'all took me there. My mother is a hardcore Christian. If she hear me saying these things, she probably would, well, I'm not going to say she would disown me. That's my mom. She's not going to do that, but she's going to be mad. She's not going to love it because she loves her Jesus. And it is what it is. But you see, they don't do the research. My sister is married to a pastor, but I got to speak the truth. I cannot hold it in. I cannot bottle the truth in just because I want to appease them. No, I have to tell the truth. I know how our people became Christians. I know how they accepted Jesus. It was from the sword. Okay? The sword. And what is the sword? The sword is also a cross. So they took the sword and they killed our ancestors, right? That's what that's the crucifixion from the sword, because it's literally a cross. And then they tell you Jesus died for your sins. No, your ancestors died for you. From that same cross, I mean the sword. So family, we got to wake up. We got to wake up. Okay? You are your own God and you are your own devil. Okay? Even in the Bible, it tells you, okay, in Isaiah 7:45, no, in Isaiah 45:7, it tells you that God said he created evil. He created good and he created evil. As a matter of fact, I don't want to speculate. I'm going to pull it up for you right now. Because you see, I like to prove things for people. I tell people, I don't just talk. All right? I don't just talk. I'm going to show it to you right now. Give me a second, please. Isaiah 45:7. And I'm going to read it to you. Okay? Because I like to show and prove. All right? We're going to go and we're going to look at it. Isaiah 45:7. All right? Isaiah 45:7. Let us look at the popular King James Version. King James, that son of a bitch. Anyway, Isaiah 45:7, where we at? Give me a second, family. Let me pull it up for you. It says, form the lights. I create darkness. I make peace and I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. I don't know if you could see it, but this is what the Lord in the Bible said. Okay? Isaiah 45:7. I want you to go read it for yourself because you see, these pastors, they avoid these scriptures, but they tell you about the tithes and offerings. And they tell you you need to be washed by the blood of the Lamb. But they never read these chapters for you. Isaiah 45:7. Form the light. I create darkness. So the Lord is saying that he formed the light and he created darkness. In other words, duality. I make peace and I create evil. So who's responsible for evil? Didn't they say it was the devil? So if the Lord is telling you he created evil, that means he created the devil. Right or wrong? And he said, I, the Lord, do all these things. Isaiah 45:7. So let me ask you a question to all you religious people. If your God is so great and your God loved you so much and he made you so perfect and he created everything and it was all good, why would he go create the devil to bring evil, to tempt you, so that there could be so much sin in the world? Do you people ever think or ask yourself these logical questions? Family, we got to wake up. We got to wake up. You are your God and you are your devil. You are responsible for your own hell and you're responsible for your own heaven. Okay? Everything is based on the content of your heart. You are the one who set up your own karma. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful concept. Okay? It's a beautiful, of course they're going to blame it on Eve because they're always blaming women for everything. You know what I'm saying? That's the patriarchal mind, exactly. Okay? I think that's a perfect concept. Whatever you do, okay, it will come back to you. Now, come on. What greater creator than that we could have? Now, when I speak that way, people say, oh, well, you don't believe in God. You're damn right I don't believe in your God. Because if you spell God backwards, you get dog. I don't know what these twisted people mean when they say God. So I don't use that word. I say the source. I say the creator, universal creator. I say the source. I say the all. I don't use that word God. Because I don't know where the hell they got it from. And I know God means to evoke. It is not a noun. Go look at the etymology of the word God. Go look at the etymology of the word God. It means to evoke. My question to you is, what or who are you evoking? So it's time that we wake up. Exactly. God backwards is dog. Okay? And you have the conscious community. All your lecturers say that the so-called the black woman is God, but yet still they turn around and call her bitches. I heard one of them just last night. One of your lecturers and your so-called beloved teachers. But think about it. God backwards is dog. And what's a female dog? A bitch. So when they call the black woman God, they know exactly what they're doing. And when they call her a bitch, they know exactly what they're doing. Peep the game. Peep the game. Well, I got my eyes on them though. I'm gonna keep calling them out. All right. But family, I'm having fun with you guys, man. Yep, that's the Abrahamic God. Yep, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You know, that's just the concept of these people's religions. Okay, religion. Re is a prefix. And anytime you put the word re in front of anything, it means to do over. So my question to you is, what did you have before you had to religion? Ask yourself that question. Because to do anything over, it means that you had already done something. So what was there before religion? We had spirituality, the practice of spirituality. Okay? Then you have to become a convert. Now, to convert anything, that means it is not its original self. If you have a new BMW and you take it to a shop and you turn it into a convertible, it is not the same car. Therefore, if you become a convert, that means you are not who you used to be. So these people, okay, religion, and you got converted from your original self. And they tell you, you are born a sinner. Now, again, let us use some logic here. If you have a God that is so great, so perfect, knows everything, and everything that he made was all good, why would he make you a sinner? Why would you call yourself a sinner? What are you telling me? That means your God made a mistake? That your God is imperfect? Family, once again, I'm asking you to use logic here. You were not born a sinner. We came into a world to learn a lesson. Okay? We came into this world to learn a lesson. We came from a perfect place, meaning that the spiritual man, okay, the moral and the pure man, that is the spiritual man. And the spiritual man had to manifest into something that he was not, so that he could learn something outside of himself. That's why when you need to go to know yourself, you have to go within to know that spiritual man. Because now a lot of us are living only through the physical man. Now, these pastors, they're not going to teach you that. No, they're not going to teach you that. Okay? Because they want to take your innate power. You see, they don't want you to go in. They want you to go without. And look up in the sky, go down on your knees and pray to Jesus to see if he's going to come down on the clouds. They say Jesus walk on water. Of course. I see the sun, the sun, walk on water almost every day. Y'all got to wake up. Okay? You have to wake up and realize what's going on. You are not a sinner. You were never a sinner. Okay? You just came again into this world. You manifest into the physical being to learn an experience. The source that we came from is perfect. But to experience anything outside of itself, it experiences things through its creations. And we are the creations. The plants are the creations. The animals are the creations. And that's how the creator or the all experience things through its creations. Because it is so pure that it cannot do evil. However, it knows evil, but it cannot do evil. So therefore, it had to manifest, create outside of itself so that it could experience evil outside of itself. I hope that makes sense. So that's what we came here for, so that we could experience something outside of our spiritual self. So literally, this is school. Okay? And if you miss that mark, You will reincarnate and come back and do it all over again. Okay? But the so-called elites, they know that. So then they created religion to control people so that they could keep people reincarnating here over and over and over again. It's up to you to save yourself. Only you can save yourself. Nobody else can. And your karma is based on your actions. Whatever you do in this life, okay, it will come back in the next life. Don't think you're going to escape. No, there is no God that's going to punish you. There is no hell that's going to burn forever. That's not true. And again, you have to use some logic here. I keep telling these people, think. If God is so loved that he gave up his only begotten son, right? Why would your God create a hell for you to burn forever and ever and ever and ever? When that same God said to forgive 70 times 70 times 70 times 70. How come he only forgave you one time? And then if you do it again, he's going to burn you in hell forever. Where's the logic in that? So you see the brainwashing? And for all these Bible thumpers, all these so-called Christians and religious people, if heaven is such a beautiful place, why are you afraid to die? Why are you afraid to die? Apparently you don't want to go to heaven. But you know what? I'm just talking. All right. Somebody says, yes, thanks. You can never escape the balance. She will come and get you. Of course, it's about, that's what it's about, man. It's about, you know, we all have that duality in us. Okay. It's like me walking down the street and I see somebody. If I smack that person, there was no little devil in me. Okay, the devil didn't come and tell me to do it. I did it. Okay. And if I walk down the street and I hug somebody, God didn't tell me come do it. I did it myself. Literally, you are the one that's either perfect example. I gave that an analogy before. We all have two wolves inside of us. Okay, we all have two wolves. One that's fed on positive energy and one that's fed on negative energy. And the one that will strive is the one that you feed the most. Okay, so if that negative energy in you, which is what they call the devil or Satan, the adversary, if you feed it more, then the devil will control. Okay, that's just all it means, man. The yin and the yang, there you go. All right, that's all it means. So these pastors need to wake up and start telling people the truth and stop hustling people. All right, but family, man, I had a great time. Love this conversation. Yes. Gotta go. I gotta get up at 5 o'clock to go train my client. So I want to make sure I get some rest. But thank y'all, man. You know, thank you for your time. Thank you for your space, your energy. I just want you to know that I appreciate, love you guys. All right. I'm not gonna say appreciate. I'm gonna say appreciate, love you, because I do believe that everybody on the chat, they have some good energy. Hey, Juju Berry, what's up? I believe they have some good energy. So I think it would be safe to say I appreciate, because when you ate anything or you eat anything, you're actually taking in that energy. All right. But just in case, all right, just in case there is one or two people on there with some bad energy, I don't want to appreciate it. I don't want to eat it. Okay. So I'm going to say I appreciate, love you guys. All right. I appreciate, love you. Oh, Adam, thank you, brother. And, you know, once again, I just want to close by saying that let us learn to love each other again. All right. To me, that is the greatest gift that we can give back to Mother Nature is love. Okay. They really say that love conquers all. But you know what? I'm going to rephrase that. I'm going to rephrase that and say love heals all. Okay. We don't want to be conquered. I think we had enough of that from the conquerors. You see what they say? Love will conquer all. You see, this English people, man, you know, They got our people messed up in the head. I don't want to be conquered. Okay, it's time for healing. Let us love each other. Let us take care of each other. It doesn't mean that we have to be weak, because the meek don't inherit the earth. Okay, that's that Jesus bullshit again. Okay, because you saw what happened to the meek people when they gave us Jesus. Our people became meek and they turned us into slaves. So that don't work. And we don't turn the other cheek. So loving doesn't make you weak. As a matter of fact, loving gets you stronger. Because the more we love each other, the stronger we get. Because if somebody attacked my brother or my sister, because I love them, I'm going to stand up for them. So don't think of loving your brother or your sister makes you weak. It actually makes us stronger. And together we stand. And I'm not going to say divided we fall, because we're not going to fall. We are going to rise, because that's what we have always done. They have always done everything to take us down, to get rid of us. Okay? When they came, they saw the American Aborigine. What they did, they called us Indians. And they say we have to beat the Indians out of these people. And they literally almost took out about almost 70% of our ancestors. But because we are a chosen people, we were fruitful and we multiplied. You see, they can't stop that. You see, they can't stop the American Aborigine, because the Creator put us here for a reason. We have always been the beacon of the world, and we shall rise again. We are the natural custodians of the universe, whether you believe it or not. Don't think it's anybody else. It's us, the American Aborigine. You have to know who we are. Know how special you are. And that's why they spend so much time degrading us, letting the world look at us like we ain't nothing, letting the world see us through the lens like we are thugs. All we do is kill each other. All our women do is walk around naked and get pregnant and have babies. That's what they want the world to see. But you know what? That is not our reality. That is not our perception of ourselves. Okay? We came from kings and queens. We came from people who built pyramids. We came from people who built great cities and mounds. That's who we are. We didn't start off as slaves. Don't let them fool you with that bullshit. We didn't come from no damn slave ship from Africa. We have always been here. And the world has always looked up to us. And we are going to rise again. Believe me, I have seen the vision. I have seen the dream. And that's why my ancestors brought me here to do this. And I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. Like I said, it may not be popular, and it's okay. But one thing I know, when the student is ready, the message will appear. I'm not going to say teacher, but the message, because I'm bringing a message. Like I told y'all before, I don't want to lead you. I want to walk with you. I don't want to follow you. I want to walk with you. Because I am not better than you, and you're not better than me. I don't want to have more than you, and I don't want you to have more than me. Okay? Everything is here for us. It belongs to us. Not me, not you, but us. You see, there's no I in team, and I am a team player. And I don't deal with selfish people. I don't do that. Okay? I like to take care of mine. That's what I do. That's how I was raised. That's how my parents raised me. You see, I grew up in a home where everybody shared everything. We had no selfishness in our house. Okay? That's how I grew up. And I'm going to always be that way. All right? So with that being said, peace, love, and light. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Shelly. Thank you, Maximilian, Sherry again. And it's just so many people that Miss Candace, just want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. I really, again, I appreciate love your time. You know what I mean? How you pronounce that? Galia, ENT Productions, Maximilian, Juju. Who else we got? We got Sanulu. Who else we got, man? I just want to give a few people a shout out, man. You know what I mean? Boss Up, peace and love. We have Nighthawk. What's up, family? I know we got a few people, man. Aboriginal American, that's right. Celestial, Radar. All right. Just again, let me see who else we got. We got that. I get that. Give the shout out already. Just want to make sure I catch everybody. Give me a second here, please. We okay. Give them a shout out already. All right. So I think yeah, good body more. All right. My brother Darren's from another mother. All right. High frequency. All right. Of course, high vibes. You know, my sister Jazz. What it do? What it do? What it do? Boss up. You already know. All right, family. I think I pretty much got everybody almost. King Wayne, one love, family, one love. If I missed anybody, please forgive me because I'm trying to go through the chat. Lynn Lavi, thank you. Who else we got? Who else we got? Who else we got? Who else we got? We got Sherry and the twins, of course. You know, those are my hearts right there. Authentic One, what's up, family? I talked to my brother on the phone a few times. The Almighty King Hero, what's up, fam? Peace and love. We have my sister Cassandra Lawrence. All right, who else we got? Who else we got? Who else we got? We got Chief Kia Bay. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate the little time that you spent with us. Jazzy Love, of course. Jazzy Jazz. What it do? What it do? What it do? All right. Yep. Melanated Love. Got you. She was on earlier. And I think that's it. And Zombie. Yep. Zombies there. 88. 420. All right, so I think I got everybody. Beautiful, beautiful. Tyler, you're a little late, but you know we're about to shut it down. But I want to just again thank you, everybody, man, and have a blissful evening, family. Don't forget, right before you go to bed tonight, here's a little secret. If you want to start manifesting things, all right, before you go to bed, I know it's a little late, but take at least 20 minutes. And focus on that thing before you go to bed. Or if you want any answers from the ancestors, just spend like about 20, 25 minutes and just focus on just that. Okay? It takes it out of control. And then go to sleep. And I promise you, you're going to start having some visions. You're going to start having some dreams. It worked for me every single time. And my ancestors have never, ever failed me. And I love each and every one of them. And I honor them. All right? It's time we go back to the ways of our ancestors. Family, peace, love, and light. High vibrations. Continue to stay high. Never low. Never hell low. Okay? Always stay high. All right? We don't do blessings. Blessing is a curse. Never be less, but be more. All right? I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night, and we will talk. Peace, love, and light.